guys, welcome back to New York City, Engage TV. It's Jamie Garantiotis here. First day of Blog World 2011. I'm super excited to be joined by Penn from Blue Sky Factory. He is also the co-founder of PodCamp with Chris Brogan. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We've just come out of a great presentation by Chris on Facebook Analytics. A lot of detail in there, a lot to consider. I just said to Chris, I've got hundreds of questions. We can't go into it all, but we do have a few questions that he's been kind enough to share his time. It's here now. So the first one, Chris, you discussed early on in the presentation different ways to identify breakdowns in demographics, how they can be used to identify opportunities. From what you've seen with your work at Blue Sky and perhaps outside of your own projects, are companies really leveraging analytics and statistics to identify and make use of these opportunities?
Not to the extent they could be, particularly since all the tools out there are free. I mean, a good number of them. You can get to 90-95% of what the Fortune 500 use for their agencies use, just for free stuff like Google Analytics and learning how to read stuff and learning specifically what different numbers mean. Like one of the things that we talk about often with Facebook is it's not just about having followers or friends or fans but what they do that matters, and being able to segment out traffic to your website, for example. It's built into Google Analytics. You can split it out very, very easily and see, do Facebook people behave differently than organic SEO people? Yes, they do. You should know, based on what's in analytics, what those people do, what interests them versus the other crowds, and then be able, ideally, to create content specifically for them. There's a great free tool for WordPress that detects refers. So if someone's coming from Facebook, you can actually give them a pop-up that says, "Hey, Facebook friend, why don't you like our page? Why don't you like this or sign up for our mailing list?" But you can have content very specifically targeted towards those people. And these tools are free. They've been free. They've been around for a long time. That companies aren't using them if you don't, you're doing so at your peril.
So I'm glad you mentioned the tools. That was the next natural question. Okay. What are your top tips for not only free, but some of the best tools of the trade that are out there?
It depends on what you're doing. Google offers a huge suite of tools. Those are all free. I mean, Website Optimizer is huge for your website for testing. You can test it based on traffic source. Analytics is absolutely essential. For Facebook stuff specifically, Facebook provides you a decent number of tools. They provide insights for websites. They provide the ad manager and audience builder and stuff like that. So these are basically the basics. That and granted, this is going to be biased because I work for an email marketing company. Have a mailing list. Something as simple as that gives you a tangible, as tangible as digital gets, an asset that you can actually hold on to and make use of time and time again.
Fantastic. Now, there were two books that were mentioned during your presentation for those wanting to learn a bit more, from the basics through to a bit more of the advanced. Could you just perhaps recap those for the viewers?
Yeah, for analytics specifically, you want to check out Web Analytics 2.0 and Web Analytics in an Hour a Day by Avinash Kaushik, who is probably one of the best minds in overall analytical stuff. If you want to check out social strategy from a very high-level perspective, from a big picture perspective, check out 6 Pixels of Separation, the book by Mitch Joel, who comes out of Toronto, and what's the other big? Quebec. What's the largest city in Quebec? Montreal, thank you. You can tell I'm an American. Geography, not my strong point. But Mitch's book is phenomenal because he talks a lot about why you're doing these things and sort of what your big picture strategy is, not just with social media, but with all your marketing and all your digital media.
Talking about time is money, time spent on Facebook is adding up.
Yeah, real simple. I mean, time is money. So when you think about it, most people in social media get this wrong. They figure it's free because they didn't spend any money out of pocket, but they're using their time. The example we gave in the presentation, if you earn $50,000 a year, let's say, as an example, you spend, your hourly rate for America is $24 an hour, 40 hours a week. If you are spending 5 hours a week on Facebook, it may seem like it's free, but that's $120 of your time. So you're being paid, or you're earning money for yourself on an hourly basis. Really, at the end of the day, did you get $120 worth of business out of those 5 hours you spent on Facebook, or because you've done something else like bought ads, gone out and gone to a conference or something. So all that stuff adds up.
Just to finish up, another point you finished kind of your presentation on was evangelists. Maintaining, building communities, how important is it and how useful are the use of statistics and analytics in identifying those evangelists and maintaining and building a community?
it all comes down to your goals. There are a lot of places that frankly don't want to have community, and that's fine. They want to have a transactional relationship with people. In that case, it's not necessarily all that important. If you have the goal to create this sort of evangelists, these unpaid marketers, effectively for your brand, being able to use all the tools that are out there, email marketing tools like ours that tell you exactly who's sharing what, all the free tools like Twitter search and Facebook search and things. Identifying those evangelists means that you can more effectively amplify their voices. You can give them exclusive, like, hey, we're rolling out a product next week. We want you to know about it first because you're best friends or whatever and stuff like that. And that's what will help make them louder, make them more vocal in their support. One thing, a popular evangelist tactic that I've used many times to great success is when someone says something negative about you, that's a great opportunity to turn them around. It's a great opportunity for them to prove to themselves that you're really worth working with. If you actually are. If you're not, then don't talk to them. But if you do that, you'll have some diehard folks who will go to bat for you every single time somebody else says anything negative about you. And it takes a lot of load off you. It generates business for you. And in a lot of ways, if you want to get into sort of squishy metaphysical stuff, it actually makes your work worth doing if you know that people are that much in love with what you do that they want to work with you even though you're not paying them a dime.
Absolutely. All about identifying that opportunity. With that, I'd like to thank Chris Penn. Before we sign off, Chris, where can we follow you on Twitter? And I believe today's presentation is available online for everyone that's watching.
Yes. So you can find me at CSPenn on Twitter. My website's ChristopherSpenn.com. And today's presentation, go to blueskyfactory.com/FB chat, Facebook chat, and the slides are there and everything.
As I said earlier on, there are so many questions that I've got from this. I highly recommend it. Please get on there, check it out, follow and connect with Chris. Chris Penn, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.